Friday night at BC Place in Vancouver, and their Lions slightly second behind Calgary in the West. BC at 5-2, looking very strong, splitting 2 games against the Stampeders. Hey, I think it's selfie time. What do you think? That was for you, Jock.
Executive producer Manny is everything, and he'll let you know it, but he's showing it on the field.
Jerome Messam, this man is a low. Second in the league in rushing right now. This is Brampton, Ontario native, is looking to keep piling up the yards on the ground for those Calgary Stampeders.
Yes, indeed, in the third and final meeting of the season between the BC Lions and the Calgary Stampeders. This one back in Vancouver where they met in Week 1. Part 2, Friday Night Football doubleheader after the Alouettes' big win in Ottawa tonight. Back with the panel of Jock Climby, Matt Dunnigan, and Milt Stegall. Well, that Big Eastern matchup gives way to the biggest matchup in the overall CFL standings right now. You get Calgary at 5-1-1. You got BC at 5-2. Each has lost to the other. Each could easily think that they should have won that game that they lost. It's been that close between these two teams.
And 2 strange games. I mean, a total of 5 points decided those 2 games. The first one was a low-scoring affair, and the second one was just it was lights out. I mean, defenses couldn't stop anybody. But what we do see here is the highest scoring offense in the league in the BC Lions against the best defense in the league in the Calgary Stampeders. Something's got to give. But I think this is a huge game. I mean, this is a season series between the 2 top teams in the CFL, and that's going to matter. I believe that will matter by the time this season is over.
Yeah.
Who wins this football game will make a difference.
Teams go down there, and you know, Jason Araki is on point to break the all-time record tonight as well. So teams going to play a big factor in this, Milt.
Right now, these are the 2 best teams in the CFL. Right now, at this point we're at. So whichever team can create the least amount of mistakes, it's going to be crucial. We saw what happened that last time they played. Jonathan Jennings, great game until the end. That last
some young mistakes.
Makes some young mistakes. So now he can't create those mistakes. He's a great quarterback right now, but he can't create those mistakes. Otherwise, it means nothing. He has to finish the game. If he starts well, he has to finish well. And they have an opportunity to win. But we know Bo Levi Mitchell. We know what type of player he is, the way he brought him back that last game. So whichever team creates the least amount of mistakes will win this game.
And it's so many games.
And I know that's a Captain Obvious type thing, Jock.
Yeah, I was going to say that, Milt. I mean, obviously. But speaking of obvious, I mean, what I want to see is, can Mitchell keep this string up? I mean, it just seems like week in, week out, he does something right near the end of the game to simply pull it out. And now he's up against a very talented BC Lions football team. Can they put an end to that streak he's got?
He doesn't know any different. And that is who he is. This is not a fluke. This is week in, week out for years now. That is Bo Levi Mitchell.
Looking forward to this one. The rubber match, the Lions and the Stamps for first in the West. Kickoff coming up.
Jennings in the end zone. Now he has his man. It's Burnham over the middle. And Burnham burns the Stamps here. They finish tonight, and they win their season opener.
1st and 10, Lions pressure, quick hitter, Grant, McCarty Grant, touchdown! Got a new Game of the Year candidate. A comeback overtime win for the Stampeders, 44-41.
record, 41 career starts, 33 wins, and Jonathan Jennings, who has been hot of late, 4 straight games over 300 yards passing. The subplot tonight is 31-year-old Jason Araki, who's currently tied for the most special teams tackles in league history. He is the unsung hero in this BC lineup. Could make history tonight. We'll have the Araki cam on number 45.
Yes, Lions under Wally Buono, 5-2, 2-1 at home, 2-1 against the West. And he believes his team's getting better by the week. Dave Dickinson, Stampeders unbeaten in 6. It's a week 1 loss here in Vancouver. The first-year coach likes his 5-1-1 record, but thinks his team can play better. Well, Jason Araki got his wish. He wanted to be kicking off in pursuit of nailing down the CFL all-time special teams tackle record on his opening kickoff. Let's see if he can do it. Kickoff is sent deep. Torrey Harrison on the return, and Harrison, he'll be dragged down by Araki, and there it is, number 185. Great return for Harrison, but Araki is now the standard in special teams in the Canadian Football League.
He didn't waste any time. Jason Araki, the 9th special teams tackle of the season, 185th of his career on the opening kickoff coverage team, cuts inside and is the first man to make contact and bring him down by himself. Congratulations, Jason Araki, a new standard.
Tied Wade Miller on the all-time list last week, and now he has the record. Bowley by Mitchell to work. And looking deep on the first play, jump ball, and brought down by Anthony Parker, working against the veteran Ryan Phillips. Parker did not have a catch last week. He gets a big one on the first play here.
He lines up at that wide side, wide receiver spot right here. Nothing real fancy about the route. Slides inside on that hash, little bit of an out and up. And Ryan Phillips, the veteran halfback, is in tremendous position. Anthony Parker just wins the jump ball.
33-yard connection to Parker, his biggest play of the season. And a first down Calgary at the BC 36. They empty it out and throw for Harrison, and he is drilled back behind the line of scrimmage. Better call Solomon Elimimian.
31 years old, the McMaster product. Just another look at the record-setting opening tackle of this football game. Is 185th, Wade Miller. He was tied coming in at 184. There's Sean Millington, another former BC Lion as well on that list.
In his 9th year, 7th consecutive game with a special teams tackle, and he took care of business early. Now, 2nd and almost 10 as Mitchell on a roll. Big Hill in pursuit. There is a flag in the Lions secondary as Mitchell throws it away. Tim Croker's in charge, and a lot of things happening early.
Legal contact on a receiver. BC number 0. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Lucius Purifoy, the strong side linebacker.
Yeah, Purifoy is playing very well. One of the great newcomers to the Lions lineup. He's got his hands full tonight in that linebacking core, stopping Jerome Messam out of the backfield. There's a receiving core. Number 1 receiver with them, no question, is Marquay McDaniel. Parker already with the big catch. There's their tackles, Derek Dennis, Spence Wilson.
Seen a lot of Harrison early, and he gets the ball again on first down and drives down around the 21. Phillips in on the tackle. Set the Lions defense second in yards allowed this year.
Alex Bazzi off the edge with 6 sacks so far on the season. Last week, the first time he didn't get one in a game. There's the outstanding linebacking core led by Adam Bighill. And a secondary with Mike Edom back in his second game, returning from injury at safety.
Lions lead the league in sacks with 27. So 2nd and 6. Play action fake. Mitchell steps up. Goal line. Touchdown. Bakari Grant. Opening drive major for the Calgary Stampeders. And they cap it with a 21-yard touchdown strike.
Bo Levi Mitchell's ability to negotiate the pocket comes through again for him. He's going to get some pressure to his right on this play action throw from Bazzi. Steps up calmly with the eyes downfield, and there's Bakari Grant. Just 1 catch last week, and him involved early.
Team that's been slow starting this year, out of the gate quickly here, and now going for 2. They're 1 for 2 on 2-pointers so far this season. Mitchell short drop, and it's complete. Parker starts the drive and caps it with the 2-pointer. And just like that, under 4 minutes in, Stamps have an 8-point lead. One more look at the 21-yard touchdown pass to Bakari Grant. 5 plays, 69 yards. Bakari Grant with his 2nd touchdown of the year. He had a quiet week last week as well. 1 catch, 8 yards. But he and Parker come up big on the opening drive, and Ryan Phillips mulls it over on the Lions sidelines.
He was in coverage on Bakari Grant for the touchdown, and also on coverage on Anthony Parker in that opening play down the sideline.
So Calgary, team that scored 22 on the Lions in the 4th quarter of their last meeting 3 weeks ago, starts quickly here. Now Paredes kicks it off. And here's the Stamp killer, Chris Rainey. 4 touchdown returns against Calgary in his career. Nothing doing on that return. Let's take a look at the Grant touchdown.
Bakari Grant lines up to the right side of the formation right here. Now he's going to start out in what is a cover 2 man kind of look, and you're going to see Ryan Phillips underneath him. This is exactly the technique that Phillips wants because he thinks he's got deep help. But Bakari Grant just slides into the open area, and when he does, because Bo Levi Mitchell negotiated the pocket, stepped up, bought him an extra second, Grant opened up in that middle.
So the Lions start at the 26 of 164 points in their last 4 games. And a completion to Chris Rainey underneath, and he has 9 on the first play from scrimmage.
Rainey dynamite on the teams. Here's the starting offense for the BC Lions with Jeremiah Johnson back in at tailback. Starting receivers Manny Arsenault and Brian Burnham has come on in the last 4 games. An offensive line. I will watch the matchup between Javon Olafioye and Charleston Hughes tonight.
Jeremiah Johnson with the first down run as we set the Calgary defense for you.
Yeah, Hughes with 3 sacks last week against Saskatchewan. Calgary defensive line now has 6 on the season. He will play against Olafioye most of the night. There's a linebacking core with Deron Mayo leading the group in tackles. And Jamar Wall leads the league at that halfback spot in knockdowns, almost in double figures already.
Highest scoring offense in the league against the stingiest defense. Terrific matchup, play action fake, and out it goes to Burnham. He turns it up and into Stampeder territory down around the 30-yard line. Big play Lions as they look to respond quickly.
Brian Burnham turns on the afterburners right here as he turns the corner. Burnham's right in here in that slot back position, runs the out. Little dig route, and then bangs it back to the outside. Watch the afterburner as he outruns the angle of Joe Burnett.
42 for Burnham, who came in 8th in the league. Pressure on Jennings. Deron Mayo, and Jennings got away and throws it away to avoid the sack.
And went straight over to talk to Sean Gore about a hot route. Try and open up. It looked like receiver, quarterback not quite on the same page on that one. Sean Gore off to a great start, his best start of his career, 7th year in the league, and almost already halfway to 1,000 yards.
Jennings with 3 of the top 11 receivers in the league at his disposal. Looks at 2nd and 10 from the 29. Stands in, looks for Burnham, and can't make that tough catch over the middle. And the field goal team will come on.
That's knockdown number 9, which leads the league for Jamar Wall. Now, Jamar Wall doesn't have an interception, but he gets there and just gets his finger on it before it gets to Burnham, redirects it slightly.
So Richie Leone, 13 of 20. 37-yarder. He missed from 37 last week, and Brandon Banks made him pay with the missed field goal return for a touchdown. Pressure on, but Leone gets it away and puts it through. And BC's on the board. Both teams with points on their opening possessions. But Bo Levi Mitchell with a hot hand early here tonight went 4 for 4, 58 yards on his opening possession. Special teams captain Jason Araki back in his office and on the sidelines. Here's Farhan Lalji.
Yeah, Araki's in his 10th season and he's a special teams demon, but he hasn't given in to the fact that he's not playing defense. Every training camp, he goes into Wally Buono's office and says, I want to play D. Now, he understands why he doesn't get the opportunity, but he says, it still allows me to play perpetually pissed off. I want to show on every single play that I can do on special teams what they say I can't do on defense. He wants that edge. He also says he really does respect his role, though, and appreciates the fact that he is one of the soldiers, a foot soldier. He thinks that's what special teams guys are. His brother's in the military, so he appreciates that role as much as anything, guys.
See what 45 does this time as Harrison takes it up the field. Another good return for Torrey Harrison. This time it's Bo Lacombo on the stop.
Well, he sets the record 15 games fewer than Wade Miller for Jason Araki. His 9th, and if he gets one more tonight, he'll get another one. He'll get to double figures on the season for sure. May get that tonight. It will be 9 straight years in double figures for Araki in special teams tackling.
Bo didn't waste any time tonight. He had his streak of 21 consecutive games with a touchdown snap last week. And a straight 300-yard game, but he's on his way. And here's Jerome Messam, who was not really part of that opening series, getting stacked up here. As Torrey Harrison saw the bulk of action in the opening series.
Of the top backs in the league, Jerome Messam has the best average, per carry average. Just shy of 6 yards every time he touches the ball in the backfield. On pace for over 1,000. Right now, you have to say, I'll put in the word arguably. That's the best back in the league right now.
Going to start an argument. 2nd and 8. Here comes pressure. Mitchell over the middle. Incomplete. That was McDaniel. Looked like he changed his route at the last second and lost his footing. It's a 2 and out.
confusion there a little bit for Bo Levi Mitchell. Trying to look at the replay here in BC Place to see on the big screen exactly what happened there. But
Rob Maver in his 99th CFL game. Couple drop deep for BC. It's Iannuzzi along with Rainey, and it will be Calgary product, Marco Iannuzzi. Had good returns last week, a decent one here, but flags fly after a 49-yard punt by Maver. We'll sort out the penalties when we return. Jonathan Jennings makes his 14th career start. Lit it up last week against Hamilton. Under the big top tonight. Penalty against Eric Fraser, and the Lions start deep, but Jeremiah Johnson gets a big chunk back with that carry, almost 10, upended by Brandon Smith.
nice play call here from the BC Lions to run away from the secondary blitz by the Stampeders.
And they go no huddle after a 9-yard pickup. Second drive that started with a 9-yard gain, and then plunged this time by Jennings for the first down.
Jonathan Jennings, you mentioned 13 games started. He's 8-5 as a starter, but it has been red hot of late. Over 300 yards in 4 straight games. And when you compare his first 13 to Bo Levi Mitchell's first 13, record different. Other than that, look how close they are.
More touchdowns, more interceptions. I know Bo would point to that winning record. There's a little toss down the sidelines trying to hook up with Sean Gore, but Joshua Bell, the former Lion, was helping out in coverage.
Well, yeah, and that is the most important thing, is that winning record. And Bo, after 13 games, was 12-1. Again, incredible 33 wins in his first 41 starts. When you take a look at that record, better winning percentage than any quarterback in CFL history. But this kid, this could be a matchup we enjoy for some time.
2nd and 10, 4 receivers near side. Plenty of protection, and Arsenault drops the football, and Manny knows he should have had that.
Oh, and what a throw. What a throw in a small window in coverage, and that's why Arsenault is upset with himself. He's going to run this dig coming across the middle. Good coverage underneath, good coverage over the top. Somehow Jennings threaded the needle in there. Arsenault knows he should have had that one. Don't see it very often.
So Leone to punt, averaged 62.4 yards last week. 3rd best punting game in CFL history. And he has Finch back at his 31. That was only 53 for Leone. Flags come down as Finch slips away and steps out of bounds at the Lion bench. We'll sort out the penalty. Talked about this stingy Lion defense. 2nd against the run. 2nd in yards allowed. A big reason for it. Number 44, part of Team 100, Adam Bighill.
During the return, legal block.
We'll make it tackle number 186 on special teams. He'll get credit for pushing Finch out of bounds there. A record holder after taking some advice to heart from his dad.
One of the first things he told me was make the team on special teams. That's how you're going to make the team. And ever since he said that, that was always my main goal, was I'm going to show him that I'm going to make it on special teams, that I'm going to be that blue collar guy for him. And that gave me an opportunity to make the team and do things that I knew I could do. And so I've kind of just run with that advice ever since he gave it to me.
There is Dad, who happened to be the top Canadian in the CFL back in 1984. Had the pleasure of calling a lot of his games as an Alouette teammate of Wally Buono, and then member of the Montreal Concords as well. And that's the reason I call Jason Nick once in a while. that I'm just old. There's Bo over the middle, and Bakari Grant another catch, and Solomon Elamimian there to bring him down.
Well, his wife, Marianne, is here. Son, Logan, as well, up in the stands. Nice to see Nick here. He looks great. The brother here as well. Wally Buono told me yesterday that on a Wally Buono coach team, if you can't play special teams, you don't make the team.
Second down, and Messam straight ahead and powers his way to what looks like should be enough for a first down.
And I love that. I mean, Wally Buono saying, you know, you're a star in college. You may have been even a great receiver in the NFL. Receiver or not, if you can't cover kicks, if you can't play on the teams, you can't make the football team. Iraqi's still trying to play defense, but valuable member and respected teammate.
Early jump there by the Lions front. Free play, McDaniel the catch. Mike Edom, the University of Calgary product, on the tackle. Looked like the Lions were offside. Let's get Tim Croker's call. Looking for a number.
Offside, BC. Number 92, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Brian Turner on the offside. Another game for Turner. Mikhail Brooks still not ready to go. He's close. Brooks injured 3 weeks ago in the second matchup between these two teams. That 44-41 classic at McMahon. First game 20-18 in favor of the Lions at home. And I think Bo Levi Mitchell summed it up well yesterday. The team that lost both games probably deserved to win. And that little swing pass over the head and out of the reach of Torrey Harrison.
Yeah, both teams, when they lost, felt like they had the game under control, and then it slipped away on them. Dave Dickinson had a field goal miss late that hurt their chance, allowed the Lions back in it. Then a couple of interceptions for Calgary in the rematch, and Wally Buono, after a big lead, watched it disappear. That went to overtime, and an interception in overtime sealed it. So this is for the season series, and that's probably more important even than first place in the division right now at this point in the regular season.
2nd and 5. Set up the screen, and that knocked down. Getting a hand on it, Alex Bazzi, who has had a tremendous season. Second knockdown to go with the 6 sacks you were referring to earlier.
Well, had that big rookie season, and Alex Bazzi just arrived out of Marshall, a thundering herd, and he gets a nice knockdown here. Just tremendously athletic. Kind of fell off in his sophomore year, but he is back in a big way.
So Rainey awaits. Maver to kick. Rainey and Iannuzzi switch sides, and this one will bounce on a couple of hops to Rainey. Breaks the first tackle. Away goes again. Chris Rainey hauled down by Rob Cote, who may have saved another touchdown. And they're shaking their head about how to stop the Rain Man. 34-yard return after a 47-yard punt.
Well, it took them a while to gather it up, and it looked like maybe there was some Calgary Stampeders that got out of their lanes because of that. The ball bounced around, and a nice block off the edge. Rainey makes one-man miss. And I think you're right. If Cote doesn't get him here, we're playing the Lions fight song again.
That's Shaq Richardson, who had the first shot at him and missed. So they start on the Calgary side of half, and that is broken up. Joe Burnett got there too quickly. And a PI call is made against Burnett on the pass intended for Brian Burnham.
And Burnett's giving Dave Dickinson the signal to challenge.
Calgary number 24. Spotted the foul. First down.
Fundamentally against challenges in the first quarter. There's Burnham right there. The number 3 spot up against Joe Burnett. Early contact before he made contact with the ball.
First down, Stampeder 40. Jennings to the wide. Out, and Burnham Can't catch up with that. Ciante Evans, who had a critical interception against Jennings in the last matchup. They're in coverage.
Yeah, his first game for replacing Fred Bennett, since been traded to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and Ciante Evans had that big play in that game, got the comeback started. And his bookend on the other corner, Tommy Campbell, finished things off in overtime.
2nd and 10. Jennings looks over the middle, and Burnham can't find it. Underthrown. Josh Bell there in coverage. It'll be 3rd down.
Boy, he had him. He had Brian Burnham, and Burnham knows that Jennings kind of faded away from this throw, kind of leaned back. Burnham's in that 3-receiver spot inside at the short side of the field. Look, he's got him behind Josh Bell. That ball goes up over the top and drops in the bucket, and it's a touchdown for Burnham.
So Leone attempting a 47-yarder. That would be, well, we'll make it 48. Would be his longest of the year. 46 his best. Out of the hold of Travis Lule, and that one up and wide left. Look out. Finch is going to bring it out. And Finch will get brought down across the 15-yard line. Pretty good tackle by Hunter Stewart. How about that?
Yeah. 323 brought him down.
Well, the CFL on TSN continues tomorrow. Big doubleheader. Eskimos take on the Argos. Darrell Walker on a record-setting pace. That's 4 o'clock Eastern. And the back half of the doubleheader, the Rough Riders at the Hammer to meet Zach Collaros and the Tiger Cats here in Week 9.
Second game back for Collaros. Looked real good in that second half here in BC a week ago.
Sold out in Ottawa tonight. Sold out in Hamilton tomorrow. 20th consecutive sellout in Steel Town. Here's a slant pattern for Grant, and he has the catch and gives the Stampeders a little more breathing room after a 7-yard pickup. Haven't heard from the newcomer to the Stampeder offense yet. Davaris Daniels out of Notre Dame. Number 89, replacing the injured Greg Wilson. 2nd and 3, Messam. And Messam will have the first down, brought down by Jabbar Westerman, an old high school teammate of Jerome Messam's at Notre Dame in Brampton.
Just a couple of touches for Messam so far in this game, so it's real early, but right now that BC defensive front 7 is getting to him before he gets any downhill momentum. That's the key to stopping a back that is that big at 265.
Should be the final play here in the opening quarter. Sidelines, there's Daniels, and he is quickly brought down by Roddy Yell at the 34-yard line. They're going to spot him with a gain of about 6 on the final play of this first quarter. What a quick start for Jason Araki on the kickoff. Sets a CFL record. Family celebrates, and then the Stampeders come back to score a major and lead 8-3. Check the stats through 15 minutes here at BC Place.
Well, that first drive for Bo Levi Mitchell, 4 for 4, so that's 4 of his 7 completions. 1 drop by Manny Arsenault for Jonathan Jennings, and he missed Brian Burnham on 1 deep throw, or the yards for Jennings would have been a lot higher. And congratulations to Jason Araki. You know, you love to see these guys that don't get the headlines but are so important to winning and losing, and that's the cover guys on the kick teams, and Raki's the best in the business.
It is a 3-phase game, and if you're weak in that phase, you're not going to win a lot of games.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to the awards and time when we're nominating people, it's always returners, it's always the kickers, and very seldom do the cover guys get much credit. So nice that tonight we can feature a guy that does a lot of the heavy lifting and grunt work, and his team respects him tremendously for it.
So we start the second quarter, 2nd and 3 for the Stamps over the middle, and there is the second down conversion king, the leader, Marquay McDaniel, his 21st catch to move the chains on second down this season.
Yeah, I call it the money catch. When you got to move the chains, you're 2nd and long, you're throwing it, who do you go to and who comes up with that big catch for you? You take a look at season after season and the consistency from Marquay McDaniel.
Strange in back-to-back games against Saskatchewan, 8 catches, 110 in both games. There's a tough catch over the middle. I was going to say against BC, just 2 catches for 20 yards in each of the first 2, and back-to-back catches here.
Yeah, incredible that are identical numbers except for yards after the catch, but I don't know how that's possible. 8 for exactly 110 in back-to-back games against the same defense.
He says he knows if he's going to be the feature go-to guy in a game, and said the first 2 against BC, no. He said maybe a 50-50 chance tonight he'd be key. There's Messam getting cut down as Ronnie Yell steps up to make the defensive play.
Bo Levi Mitchell, one of the most patient quarterbacks in the league, especially on first down, to work these under routes. Routes to the backs, heading to the sideline. Those quick crossers, only 2-3 yards. He has trust in his teammates to pick up the extra yardage on their own.
Mitchell over 100 already. 2nd and 7 in Lion territory. A lot of time. An open man. And there he is again. Another second down conversion catch.
Boy, it just becomes automatic and almost to a point where Mark Washington, the defensive coordinator for the BC Lions, on 2nd and passing downs, I just want to roll coverage to him. Again, a small window, and Bo Levi Mitchell put it in there.
10th in the league in receiving yards coming in, and now the hitch to Anthony Parker. And Parker will step out at the 28 with another Calgary first down.
You know, Mitchell doesn't get enough credit for how accurate of a passer he is. I mean, it's almost taken for granted. But one of the reasons he's at that 33 win mark in just 41 starts is because he gives his receivers, running back or receiver slotbacks, a chance to catch it, turn and run with it.
12 for 15 to start this game. Back pedals, gets it to Messam. Got a little room. Big Jerome Messam. And he'll step out around the 12, and a flag flies at the end of that play. And let's find out if that's an illegal block or not.
Maybe, but it looked like first down was gained when the penalty occurred for Messam. Watch how Mitchell here throws
4 yards are gained,
pressure.
holding. Calgary number 89, 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's the newcomer Tavares Daniels getting called on the hold.
Take a look at how he throws it around coverage there, or excuse me, that pass rush coming up the field. There's the hold. Daniels on Stewart.
So they mark it back 10. Dave Dickinson wants to know why yards gained were not acknowledged, and then the penalty.
And I think that's what's happening right now. They're discussing that, and they're going to remark this football.
Looked like he had about 14 before the holding call. And I don't think he's going to win the argument.
Unless the holding occurred before we showed the replay, it may have occurred early in the play, and that's when the flag came out.
Wow. So a more costly penalty than it first appeared. And it's 1st and 20 back at the 38. Short drop, quick hitter is high, and Grant can't pull it down with Adam Bighill there.
Big play from Adam Bighill. Their last game against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Late interception. Very important in that win for BC.
Well, it was bobblehead night, so all he did was 7 tackles, a sack, and the interception to make sure he did it upright. Second and 20. They send extra. Mitchell gets away, directs traffic, but going to throw it out of bounds with the heat coming. And the field goal team will come on.
A little bit more frustration than we're used to seeing. Bo Levi Mitchell thinks he has some big plays down the field. He wanted there Anthony Parker to head straight to the back of the end zone so he could throw it up over the top. He kept running across on a sort of a diagonal across the field. Mitchell turned and gestured towards his receiver.
So Paredes, streak on the line with this 45-yard attempt. Drew Tate gets it down, and Paredes has 21 consecutive and an 11-3 Calgary lead. Well, there's Chris Rainey. We'll have more on the Rain Man from Farhan Lalji when we come back. Chris Rainey's been a nightmare against Calgary with more. Back to the sidelines here again, Farhan.
Yeah, guys, 3 games coming into this, and Chris Rainey has scored 4 touchdowns against Calgary and averaged over 217 return yards per game. I asked him why. He said he has no idea. It's just random. Mark Killam, the special teams coach in Calgary, has a different perspective. He thinks at times they've actually outkicked their coverage, and in their end players on their various special teams have not been in position, and they've allowed him to get to the edge quick. He says at times they'll obviously try to kick away from him, but they also want to kick it short. And the other challenge of facing a guy like Rainey as opposed to a Brandon Banks is that he doesn't just want to get to the sideline. He's got a running back mentality. He'll also get straight up the field if he can.
Last year in the same game, a couple of 103-yard touchdown returns. This year, 95 and 72-yard touchdown returns. Not going anywhere this time, is he? Good downfield cover by Mark Killam's crew.
Well, it's been coincidence in some ways against Calgary, but he has been unbelievable against the Stampeders, but has done a lot of damage against other teams too. I talked to Jason Araki about his return man and Chris Rainey, and he said, we watch him on film sometimes, and he makes cuts that I would blow an ankle out on. He is so sharp on some of these cuts.
See if Jonathan Jennings can get things going after a slow start, at least statistically. Jeremiah Johnson, the ball carrier.
Yeah, settle things down, get the run game going. Jeremiah Johnson, back-to-back games for Anthony Allen. Get him in second and manageable, and also get that offensive line not having to pass protect on every snap.
Johnson had 9 carries, 44 yards in the season opening win, and most of that was to nail it down in the fourth quarter. Wide open. Here's Arsenault. A lot of room to run. And Josh Bell will bump him out on the Calgary side of half.
If you don't follow Manny Arsenault on Twitter, Chris, you should. Because, first of all, it's inspirational. Because this guy will come up with sayings and slogans and things, but he'll also occasionally post pictures.
Okay.
And those pictures are him training. And there's some strength involved in Manny Arsenault, I guarantee you that.
Fake to Johnson, and now Jennings takes off. A little improvisation from Jonathan Jennings, and another first down.
So he'll post a picture, and he'll be in the gym doing squats or some bench press or something, and then I take a look at these pictures, and then you say, okay, go ahead and run it, guys. This is the end of that play. Watch what he does here to Josh Bell. This is why you spend all the time in the gym. Get out of here.
Oh, fly swatting. I gave Jennings one too many. Make it 9 and second and 1. It looks like he might be looking for more than one. Now they'll hand off to Johnson, and he's got more than one. Second level. There's another straight arm. A little Heisman there. Whoa. Sent crashing into the signage that draws a flag, and Jeremiah Johnson will celebrate from his backside.
Ron Mayo got up arguing immediately. Felt like he had a chance. He got contact before he went out. We'll take a look because the eye in the sky never lies.
This is the goal, first down.
18-yard run.
Oh, and it was actually
Taylor Reed
with the late push, and Jerome Mayo arguing on behalf of his teammate. Gabriel, our sideline sound guy, tough as nails down there.
Darn right. Can take a hit. First down. Here comes Heat. Jennings in trouble. Got it away. And the catch is made by Sean Gore. All that to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Going to send Taylor Reed here after the push. Reed wants to get back and make amends, trying to go right up the A-gap here. Causes some problems for Jonathan Jennings. Both Mayo and Reed on the blitz. Now he's flushed out of there and strong arms it to Sean Gore.
Feels like Jennings starting to get into a groove. 2nd and almost 10. Short drop, goal line, knocked down and almost intercepted. Mayo got a hand on it.
Sometimes young quarterbacks with big arms will do this. They will believe, and I think Jonathan Jennings is one of them, that it doesn't matter if there's coverage. He can get it in there. He can just muscle the ball through 3 defenders to Manny Arsenault.
And look who's back there with him. That's Charleston Hughes, who had a shot at it as well.
A little bit late on Arsenault on that hit in the end zone. I think he didn't get unnecessary roughness there.
So Leone from 20 yards out. And it's 11-6. So it's a 5-point game lead. Lions defense gets set to go back to work. A lot of veterans. Elamimian, Big Hill, and Phillips leading the way. Coming up on the GMC Precision Playbook, Glenn Sutter on explosive pass rush moves, and we can focus on Alex Bazzi because he's got a few of those, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. 3 big ones: the bull rush, the rip move, the swim move. Those D linemen.
Are we talking dancing or? Here's Mitchell, and Cote drops it around first down territory. 10-year vet, played with the Victoria Rebels, knows he should have had that.
Now, if you are after a quarterback like Mitchell, who gets the ball out of his hands so quickly like he did to Cote there, you don't get a chance to get into your pass rush moves if you're Alex Bazzi.
Second and 10. Flag down, loading it up and going deep. And incomplete. Ronnie Yell was in coverage there and nowhere to go. Let's see if the Lions were offside.
Tavares Daniels stopped running. And you can bet that Mitchell will talk to his new receiver.
Offside, BC number 53. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Yeah, Bazzi gives them a free play.
Let's take a look at Alex Bazzi right here. And steps in that neutral zone. This is Markway McDaniel time. But they'll talk to Tavares Daniels and say, don't quit on the route. You never know.
2nd and 5. And it's caught out of the backfield. Harrison. And a first down into Lion territory at the 50. Torrey Harrison with a touchdown in the last meeting against BC.
Well, that's a tough matchup for Solomon Elamimian. As good as he is, he's got to take away the inside. You can see him shading the inside shoulder of Torrey Harrison, and that allows him to run that out with lots of room. Does a little extra afterwards, 20-yard gain.
Calgary first down. Messam straight ahead, and the former Lion Drags Elimimian for an extra yard or two and has 9.
Okay, the young quarterback's watching this game. Watch Bo Levi Mitchell go through his fake after he gets it to Jerome Messam. Mitchell's going to take the shotgun snap. He's going to go to Messam, give it to him, and then fake like he's throwing it out, and it holds Solomon Elimimian for a split second.
Flag comes down on 2nd and 1.
Take a look again, and just that little move after the handoff. Some quarterbacks just will give this, and watch Solomon Elimimian hesitate when Mitchell goes to look like he's going to throw it. He's going to step up.
BC number 44.
Hesitates,
penalty.
And now he's in a
First
bit
down.
of a chase on Messam. Messam gets an extra 3 yards. It may be a nothing little thing. All the little things add up. That's a guy in his 42nd start, and he's doing it right.
Big Hill offside, so Calgary a first down. Lions 37. Under 6 left, first half. Fake to Messam this time, and it's McDaniel. And Big Hill the tackle.
McDaniel started like he was going to go across the formation there, put on the brakes, and then shot out the right side, the short side of the field. Came down inside, and then good production on first down again for Calgary.
4 catches, 38 for Markway McDaniel, who's now 69 yards away from 6,000 in his career. There's Messam on 2nd and short. And should have another Calgary first down.
I talked to Bo Levi Mitchell yesterday about this record, and he was quick to say, hey, you know, got great teammates around me. I got a chance as I came to the Calgary Stampeders to work with John Huffnagel, a former quarterback, and that transition to working with Dave Dickinson, again a former quarterback, and reminded me over and over, even though I was putting it on him, 33 wins. He goes, no, it's 33 wins for our team in the last 41 starts.
First and 10 at the 26. Here comes Heath, stands in. Harrison again. Boy, Torrey Harrison's been a key factor in this first half in the Calgary offense.
Like he's a little slow to get up there. He nice production when he caught the football. Good move to go inside and great courage, because he knows in that area is where Big Hill and Elimimian range. When you cut back inside, you're cutting back where the linebackers are pursuing from, and he took a hard hit from Elimimian.
5 touches in this first half. Only at 24 on the season until tonight. Again, another 2nd and short, and Messam slipped on the cut and may not have it.
Well, first down success for Calgary now, real key in this first half.
That's going to be 3rd and 1.
Didn't quite get there here on the 2nd down, but I guarantee you Dave Dickinson and Mitchell will take 2nd and 1 or 2 all game long if they can.
But now it's 3rd and 1 or 2, or we'll call it just a little bit more than 1. 12 for 14 in 3rd down situations. Hands here looking for a stop. Messam got it. Elimimian the tackle, but Messam gets the first down and plenty to spare. So we hit the 3-minute warning. Stampeders have a 5-point lead. And with his first down carry by Messam, threatening in the red zone.
Rod Smith back in the studio with 3 panelists, not 3 Olympians. They're ready to analyze this first half and also talk about what went on in Ottawa tonight for the Montreal Alouettes. And Kevin Glenn will have the precision playbook as well. Always a little mayhem here. Chris, Glenn, back to you.
The race walker's going. 11th play of the drive upcoming here. First down, fake to Messam. And there is Cote, touchdown, 100th career catch. A major score for Rob Cote.
And Mitchell will take this throw every time. They're going to go for 2. Especially on first down, as I mentioned it. There's Cote. Lines up like he's going to play tight end. Goes over to like he's going to line up on the opposite side. And then just pushes the flat, which is right towards the sideline. Turns the corner. No one there to tackle.
So Cote's first touchdown of the year caps the drive.
The BC Lions have been, in their last 4 games, used to a lead. They're out in front of their opponent last 4 weeks in a row. Not tonight.
Well, this is one way to take some heat off Rene Paredes' conference problems. Look out. That snap before Mitchell was ready, but I think a whistle went, and it did. Apparently a procedure call against the Stampeders.
Procedure. Calgary number 53. 5-yard penalty. Retry.
Rene Paredes 11 for 18 on the converts this year, so second touchdown and the second 2-point attempt for the Stampeders tonight. A lot of innovative plays on that call list for one of the great offensive minds, Dave Dickinson. Let's see what he's got here. Looking for 2, and a stumble there for the intended target, McDaniel, and unsuccessful. So it's an 11-point Calgary lead after the touchdown by Rob Cote. 7th different receiver for Bo Levi Mitchell here in the opening half. Here's Rob Cote hitting pay dirt for the first time since 2014.
Yeah, he's going to start out on the right side here, and it looks like Adam Bighill is supposed to cover him, but Bighill gets a little mesmerized by the quarterback. Stop it there. He's outflanked now, still looking at Bo Levi Mitchell with his man outside him.
So it's 17-6, Calgary with the lead. And an important series upcoming for BC to kind of, or to close the gap before this first half's done. Shaq Murray-Lawrence this time on the return. And a flag flies as he gets dragged down.
That is a big drive because there's time, and Jonathan Jennings.
During the return, illegal block. BC number 41. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Has just got a longer field because of the illegal block.
Adrian Clark, the culprit.
The play call from Kahari Jones, and we'll get this started. What time? Lots of time to drive the field here, and they need it.
Just 4 completions for Jennings in this first half. And a long field beginning at the BC 15. 4 receivers near side, looking that way. And Jamar Wall in that danger zone intended for Arsenault, but Wall sizing up a pick 6.
Yeah, he was baiting him. He was staying off it and letting Arsenault push out there towards the sideline, waiting for the throw. Now, Jonathan Jennings locked in, had his throwing motion, his off shoulder looking right at Manny Arsenault the entire way, and Jamar Wall closed quickly.
Well, there's another knockdown for Wall.
Big play guy. I took the tackles out of the defensive big plays. Wall number 1 in the league.
A lot of time, stretching it, Moore's got it. Came back to the football, in some traffic, and has a huge play for the Lions.
Came back to it, Chris, and he got a throw from Jonathan Jennings that opened him up. It was the throw that brought him to the middle. Gore starts out here, and it's the throw that bends him back into the middle. Ball's already gone there, and then arrives when he gets there.
38-yard play, and that pass through the hands of the intended target, Geraldo Boldevine.
That's tremendous anticipation by Jennings to throw it to that spot and trust that Sean Gore saw the same thing. Another 2nd and long here.
And an injured Stampeder will give them a little bit more time. And that's Joe Burnett. The nickelback who's been shaken up.
He may be working on a stinger there, trying to get feeling back in that right side.
Interesting to see how Dave Dickinson and Devon Claybrooks replace Burnett, because he's the one guy on the depth chart on defense that doesn't have a backup listed. So Singleton comes in. We'll see how they work things around here.
And Alex Singleton, a true linebacker,
right?
6'2", 235, not the DB tweener. Now Joe Burnett's going to have to leave for at least 3 plays. Good news is for Calgary fans, looks like he'll be okay. But that would tell you that Devon Claybrooks, Chris, is going to probably go to some more zone type looks and not get Alex Singleton into a one-on-one on a guy like Brian Burnham, or if they brought Manny Arsenault inside, or even Sean Gore. We'll see what they do here.
So Singleton on the hot seat. 2nd and 10 Lions. Need about 15 to get into Leone range. And they may get a free play.
Yeah, they do.
Look like they're offside. Gonna take a shot. Arsenault can't bring it down. Around the 2-yard line as Jennings aired it out.
That's the man that stopped the play. It looked like they had it. It looked like the Lions
Outside.
had another
Calgary
big
number
one.
94. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Frank Beltre was offside.
I mean, they had the free play, and Jennings knew it immediately. Arsenault running down this ball, but watch the play made over the top. You don't see him yet. Here he comes from the left of your screen, and the knockdown for Tommy Campbell. Wow.
Big play by the corner who clinched the overtime victory 3 weeks ago with his interception in the end zone.
Offside
2nd and
again.
5, they're offside again. Another free play, open receiver, and the catch is made. Iannuzzi with the grab, and now they are in field goal range at the 36.
Double check this flag, make sure that no offensive player pulled.
Offside, Calgary number 93. Penalties declined, 1st down.
Micah Johnson.
This is Jonathan Jennings with the staggered snap count. He's got that Calgary defense jumping. On the receiving end of this throw, Marco Iannuzzi has come on of late. Last 3-4 games, contributing offensively. In fact, was one of the game ball winners recently.
Changing the cadence, handing it off. Jeremiah Judson. Room up the middle, and he'll power for another 1st down. Lions in business here with 88 seconds on the clock.
Which is plenty. I mean, it's plenty to go ahead and just straight run your offense. They're calling the plays on the line of scrimmage. Nice cut and lateral movement. Jeremiah Johnson.
5 carries, 46 for Johnson. And are the Lions calling timeout?
BC.
Yes, they are. Make sure they're on the same page as Kahari Jones calls the young quarterback over.
Maybe just a reminder that he doesn't have to throw it to the end zone on this play. He can move the chains one more time, get inside the 20, which is the red zone.
Got to the red zone once tonight, 0 for 1. But a big difference heading into the locker room, down by 11 or down by 3 or 4. First and 10, and Rainey in the backfield. 4 receivers near side. Want to swing to Rainey, and that was red. And Alex Singleton was in the huddle and makes the play.
This plays to his strengths. Calgary playing with 3 true linebackers right now because of the injury to Joe Burnett. And Singleton, this is him. He drops in his zone, and then he comes up and plays the play in the backfield. I mean, that's playing to the true linebacker's strength, not isolating him down the field and making him run with one of these receivers for the Lions.
Good pressure by Jagarrett Davis to make that swing pass a little more difficult for Jennings. 3-man rush now. Jennings avoids the rush, throws to the sideline, and got it in. Oh, he had some heat on that. They're going to be short of the first down, and now a decision in field goal range, but 3rd and 3.
Boy, tempting. Conventional wisdom says take the points. Take the points. You got to believe Wally Buono is tempted here.
You're on it.
The way Bo Levi Mitchell is playing as well. Got to believe he's tempted to try and go for it. He's got time for 3-4 more plays. But you take the points here. You got it. Second quarter.
Make it a 1-score game.
Yeah, absolutely.
With the 2-point convert.
Oh, you take the points. 2 good catches by Marco Iannuzzi. Wow.
Had a good return game last week. 26-yard attempt. And Leone has that, and it is an 8-point Calgary lead. So 20 seconds remains. See how Calgary handles it as the offense comes out to scrimmage at the 35.
Bo Levi Mitchell with that first half. The time of possession a few minutes ago was double. Calgary had over 18 minutes when I checked it. BC 9. That has a way of catching up to your defense if you're the Lions. They've got to figure out Bo Levi Mitchell on first down. That's what they'll try and adjust at halftime.
It's as good as we've seen Calgary in the first half, I think, this season. Really looking sharp from the get-go. They've got a terrific record, but haven't played a full 60 minutes. Pretty good 30 minutes for this offense as they'll run the clock out and head to the room with an 8-point lead.
Yeah, smart play. Just take the lead. You're on the road against a good team you've gone 1-1 with so far in the rubber match.
First half's done on the knee from Mitchell. First 2 meetings saw comeback victories in the second half by BC here in week 1 and by Calgary 3 weeks ago. Halftime here at BC Clay Stadium in the rubber match. And it's 17-9 Stampeders. Battle for best of the West.
This game could basically decide who has home field advantage throughout the West in the playoffs.
Mitchell steps up, goal line, touchdown, Bakari Grant. Fake to Messam. And there is Cote, touchdown, 100th career catch. A major score from Rob Cote.
In the battle of the best of the West so far, it is the Calgary Stampeders at the half at BC Place, leading the Lions 17-9. Welcome back inside our Friday Night Football studio. Rod Smith along with Jock Climie, Matt Dunnigan, and Milt Stegall. We talked about the great quarterback battle here, and so far, it is Bo Levi Mitchell that is winning at 16-23. He's thrown a couple of touchdown passes. Typical poise we see in this guy, Milt. I mean, the way he distributes the ball, looking very confident in this game as well.
Bo knows consistency, and that's what he's been since he stepped on the scene as a starting quarterback for these Calgary Stampeders. Every single game, you pretty much know what you're going to get out of him. When you talked about his stats, his first half, 16 for 23, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's what Bo does. And everyone's talking about Jonathan Jennings. Bo was like, well, no, I'm the man. And his touchdown to Rob Cote, this is the 8th different player on this team to catch a touchdown pass. That's truly amazing. That's great if you do that throughout the season. He's done that up to this point. So he's been amazing for him. It's not over yet. Jonathan Jennings, we know what he can do in this second half. But if Bo continues playing like that, it's tough for anyone to beat them, man.
That's who he is. That's all we know. about Bo Levi Mitchell, him winning football games, spreading it around. 7 receivers already caught balls for him in this first half here. And one of them that I'd like to highlight is Anthony Parker, 6-year player from Calgary. He went up and high-pointed this against a kid from Eastern Washington by the name of Ryan Phillips, he's just a veteran in the secondary, and this is a heck of a play. This is one you might want to put on your poster and hang it up in your room. And this one here, he gets Stephen Clark in the end zone for 2 points, and then right here in the flat, just a hit screen, everybody does it. You know what he is to this football team? He's Sean Gore, to the BC Lions. That's what that kid Anthony Parker is to the Calgary Stampeders. When he gets going, you know that football team's on a roll. He's spreading it around. Bo Levi's having one of those games. Messham's running the football hard. I absolutely like what I see from the Calgary Stampeders right now.
Parker's a much improved receiver. I really like what he's doing this year.
You would expect that. 6 years in, he's stepping up to the plate.
Guys, occasionally I like to harp on things.
Okay.
I like to rant occasionally.
Yeah. Sometimes
occasionally like to harp on things. But this actually is one that you and I like to harp on together.
Oh, yes.
And I haven't done it this year.
Are we going?
Short yardage.
Are we going to school?
Yeah, we're going.
What do you know about short
Not sneak school,
John?
but we're going to go to short yardage school because this is just something that always drives me crazy.
Yardage.
I'm going to show you what happens right here. So many teams do this, right? 2 guys split out wide. Look how many guys are in the box. Look what Messam's got to run. If Messam's in there somewhere, believe me, he's in somewhere losing a yard. I mean, this is what so many teams do. They load the box. Let me show you what Kahari Jones, offensive coordinator, has done for the BC line. Look at 5 receivers spread out. Look what it does to Calgary. 5 guys out of the box. What do you see in the box? A whole lot of running room. Now look what Johnson's got to look at. Look what he's got, all kinds of lanes. He's got all kinds of space. Look at the amount of green he has to work with. They're both 2nd and 1 situations. Both 2nd and 1. Look at the difference in the results. I do not understand for the life of me and never have been able to why teams don't do that. Spread them out in short yardage and good things will happen.
Yeah, you need to start coaching since you're all smart and everything.
Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Hey, by the way, and Chris Cuthbert talked about this, the team trailing in these matchups at the half has gone on to win. Lions were trailing by 7 last time they met at BC Place. They ended up winning that one. Right now they are trailing by 8 points, 17-9. Some sad news for the Calgary organization and the CFL, for that matter, with the passing of former Stampeders running back Lavelle Coleman. He won 2 CFL rushing titles in the 60s, 8 seasons with the Stamps. League's MOP in 1964 still holds the franchise single-game record of 238 yards. Lavelle Coleman died last week in Kamloops at the age of 78. Stamps leading by 8. Here's Jock with the stats.
Well, you know what? BC Lions, Calgary Stampeders going toe-to-toe, just like we expected. I mean, I think Calgary's got control of this football game, but start to look for Jonathan Jennings to start pushing the ball down the field as he is wont to do.
As for Bo Levi Mitchell, here he is now with Farhan Lalji.
Bo, your team has started notoriously slow this year. Might that have been your best first half of the season?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the first time we scored a touchdown coming out in the first drive. It's just people engineering plays. You don't have to out-scheme them every time. Just go out there, and sometimes you got to beat them man-to-man.
You've also managed to control the clock, almost a 2-to-1 edge in that first half. Do you sense they're wearing down a little bit?
No, I think they're just taking shots, and that's, they're turning the ball over, not turning the ball over, but getting their field goals and punts because they're throwing the ball deep. Right now, we're moving it. Like you said, control the clock, keep running the ball, keep the misdirection up, and make it tough on them.
Thanks for this.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Talk about Bo knows no lead is safe when it's these two teams. First game decided by 2. Second game went to overtime. Doesn't matter if they're trailing at the half. An 8-point game right now. Second half kickoff coming up with the Stampeders leading at 17-9.
It's Friday Night Football. Yeah!
Battle to be best in the West on a gorgeous evening in Vancouver, 17-9. Stamps with the lead. Farhan Lalji with Jonathan Jennings.
Jonathan, certainly not the fast start you guys had last week. What adjustments do you need to make?
Just got to go execute. We got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot and just got to go out there and play ball.
There were a couple of plays where it looked like you may have forced it to Manny when there were guys around and bad things almost happened. Is there a danger with a guy you're that comfortable with to do that now and again?
Oh, for sure. I just got to be smart. And you know, fortunate that we didn't have too many bad things happen, but just got to come out here and play better in the second half.
What about that final drive? Is that something you can build off?
Absolutely. You know, it's a good drive, good to get points on the board. We just got to get the ball in the end zone.
Thanks for this.
Thanks.
Well, it was. They thought they could build up, but Chris Reedy stripped of the football. Ben DeAguilar comes up with it.
Who got the arm on the ball there? Tough to tell.
That
Beltre swatted it out of there, but a mistake by Chris Rainey. Didn't secure it.
So it is Calgary first possession, second half. From the 21, a fake to Messam. And wide open, it's McDaniel. First down as he is brought down at the 6-yard line.
Calgary loves to work these plays, whether it be back out or McDaniel, or we saw Rob Cote in the first half with a touchdown on a very similar play. Mitchell's going to just be patient, wait till he gets outside. Solomon Elimimian has been on the run like a track meet for him. 9 tackles in the first half for Elimimian on plays just like that.
16 for number 16, first and goal from the 5. Messam straight ahead. Touchdown, untouched. And just like that, it's a 2-touchdown Calgary lead.
Not the way the Lions wanted to start the first half with that fumble, giving Mitchell great field position. It didn't take him long to make the Lions pay for that mistake.
Not even a minute into the third quarter. Jerome Messam's 4th rushing touchdown of the season. 5th overall, and Rainey anxious to atone. Here's
from way back.
Gotta help me with that.
A whole bunch of the millennial right now are going, who?
Yes, young guys can't relate. When Calgary's won the turnover battle, they are 54-1 in the last 6 years. They're up in the turnover battle after that. Fumble by Rainey.
Went after it again.
Jeez, they did.
Same guy.
Up to the 25 on the return.
That's back-to-back plays by Frank Beltre to go in there and just try and swat the ball out of Rainey's hands. You know, when you see it twice in a row like that, you have to believe that that's scouting for Mark Killam, the special teams coordinator, to say, you know, He's a great returner, but maybe he's got that ball a little loose. And Beltre is trying to poke it out of there. He did it on the first one, not on that one.
And you know they've spent a lot of time in the film room on Chris Rainey. And off to Jeremiah Johnson into the blitz, and nothing doing. Junior Turner there to snuff it to Ron Mayo. And for Boldevine, who has a first down catch and his first grab of the night.
Well, it's going to be this type of play now, because you mentioned Calgary dropping off. Boldevine in the middle of the two receivers here, and he's just going to run that curl. So there's going to be holes. There's going to be openings in this zone if Calgary continues to play it.
Straight ahead again for Johnson, and Turner there to put a quick stop to that.
Now for the Stamps, their run defense should be solid. Now it looks like Joe Burnett on this second and long is going to come out, and it looked like he was limping a little bit. So Devon Claybrook's trying to see if he can hold up, because this is a passing down.
So a test for 24 as he returns for the first time since the injury late in the first half. Here's Jennings, scramble. And Charleston Hughes bats it out of his hand at the sidelines.
Well, Jennings scrambled to the side of the play where he didn't really have any receivers. He had loaded up this side of the field and his receivers in the formation. So when he scrambles to his left here and is being chased by Charleston Hughes, he's got one target and that's it, and he's covered. He's almost right beside him in Iannuzzi.
Hughes gets credit for a sack and takes the league lead with his 7th, coming off a 3-sack game last week. Finch lets that one bounce and scoops it up at the sideline and is pulled down immediately after a 54-yard punt by Leone. Well, Bono's winning in a terrific first half, and then quickly here in the third quarter adds another touchdown on that handoff to Messam. 7-8 years age difference, but a couple of Eastern Washington guys dueling. Mitchell against Phillips with more. Here's Farhan.
Yeah, in the end zone prior to the game, Chris Levi Mitchell tossed a football to Phillips and said, "That's all you're going to get tonight." And afterwards, Phillips said, "Yeah, that's probably right." He says he's the only regular quarterback in this league that he hasn't intercepted yet. And he said it's so difficult to do that, especially on those short curl routes like you see on second down to McDaniel, because he's got such a compact release. It's almost impossible to break on. Phillips said, "If I ever do pick him, you will hear about it. I will celebrate forever. You're going to hear about it on Twitter. You'll hear about it on camera. I will never let it go."
That's great mutual respect between two great football players.
Phillips with 47 interceptions in his career. That ball to the wide side. There's Anthony Parker with another catch and extra yards after it. Dragged down by Brandon Stewart across midfield.
Mentioned the winning percentage off the top. Take a look at some of the names on this board and on this list. When you take a look at that 817 winning percentage, Warren Moon, Doug Flutie. Now, more games involved, obviously, in guys like Flutie and Moon. And as Bo plays and continues to start games, that those numbers sometimes will move, but this guy just finds a way.
Fakes to Messam, and here comes Daniels. First catch for Tavares Daniels, the Notre Dame product, a couple of years with the Fighting Irish. 80 catches, 1,235 yards at South Bend.
Yeah, Joe West not quite ready. Greg Wilson nicked and had a couple of drops last week. And a chance for Daniels to come in and show what he's got. I mean, he's played under the big lights in U.S. college football at Notre Dame. Played in the BCS championship game against Alabama. Had his biggest game of the year that year, too. Over 100 yards.
Yeah, 8 catches, 113 in the championship game. Another catch for McDaniel, ridden down by Stephen Clark. 6 catch for Bo Levi Mitchell's favorite target, McDaniel.
Yeah, but he's distributing the ball, though. You see Anthony Parker. I think Matt Dunnigan talked about it at halftime. Yep. You know, he just, that throw to the wide side to Parker early in this drive, he was looking to go deep there and didn't even look at Parker, just got it to him. I mean, just, he knows where his receivers are without looking at them and who should be open based on what he sees defensively.
Second down, pressure on. Mitchell, downfield for Daniels, incomplete. Terrific coverage from Radiel. Thought Daniels might cause some matchup problems at 6'2", 205 against Yell, but the smaller corner is in his hip pocket.
Yeah, and he didn't bite on that inside fake. Daniels tried to get him to bite on that post fake a little bit more, and he didn't. Stayed on the high shoulder, was right there, didn't interfere. Nice defensive play.
So Paredes from 42 yards out. Money again and an 18-point lead. So Paredes with 22 in a row. Some work to do for the BC Lions. Jeremiah Johnson will try and stoke a comeback here at BC Place Stadium. Lions will take over at the 35. Don't elect to put it in the hands of Rainey this time. Jennings has got some work to do and almost throws an interception. Flag comes down. And let's see which way it goes, as Tommy Campbell was in coverage against Manny Arsenault.
Pass interference. Calgary number 25. 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Tommy Campbell came up to the line of scrimmage and then tried to bail. He gets called on that one.
So a 10-yard gain on the penalty. Look out, Jonathan Jennings in trouble. And Quinn Smith drops him. The Concordia product has his 3rd sack of the year.
Tried to go play action. And the idea here is Jonathan Jennings thinks when he goes play action here that he's going to freeze the blitzers. And what happens is they don't even pay attention to the play action. Straight up the field. Quinn Smith beats Charleston Hughes. It was a race to get to him.
Smith to the sidelines. Burnett back in, as well as Shaq Richardson. Extra DBs. And this one deep and incomplete. Looking for Arsenault again, and Jonathan Jennings shows off the arm strength, but Arsenault unable to come down with it.
Yeah, fought back towards the ball. Looked like they'd ended up doubled with Josh Bell coming over as well. And Jennings thought he would just take a shot. He's the inside receiver there. Straight go route, and then he brings it back into the middle as the ball is thrown down the middle. You see how it turns into a double team with the safety, Josh Bell, flowing there. Now Manny Arsenault had a shot at it.
He did. Leone. Oh, Finch slipped on the play and has to go back to recover it. It turns out to be a 51-yard punt, and he's taken down quickly on the play by the long snapper, Mike Benson. Flag down. We'll sort it out when we come back. Bull Levi Mitchell and the Stamps in charge. Well, the Lions are going to have to kick again. Mike Benson called for being downfield ahead of the punt.
Interior 5 can't leave until the ball is kicked. It was close, but Benson did get out a little early, and this could be a massive field position difference.
Stamps would have started at the 17. Finch standing on the 42-yard line. So with any return at all, they're going to gain at least 30 yards in real estate. Unless Leone comes up with a big boot. 51-yard punt again, but this time Finch has something on the return, but fumbles. And Calgary gets it back. What a clutch fumble recovery that was. And there is Tavares Daniels.
Well, Daniels fell on the ball. He's going to have to catch his breath for this offensive sequence, but massive difference in field position. Because Finch got bailed out by Daniels, his teammate. 41 yards difference in field position. Wow.
So Daniels stays down to get attention and gives Dave Dickinson time to make the right change in the offense.
Well, Daniels, Daniels takes a knee inbounds. Let's take the previous play. Right when the ball is kicked, so that center, Benson, right there, he cannot leave. See how he sneaks out? Just before. I think the officials got it right. He's about 3 yards down the field. You can't leave until the ball's kicked if you're in the interior 5. And it changes the field position drastically for Mitchell.
Yeah, that 3-yard jump start cost the Lions almost half the field, 41 yards. You see guys going down in a hurry. You don't usually see the long snapper, do you?
But no. But he was left uncovered, so I guess he either heard something, or sometimes you just go by hearing the ball hit the foot of the kicker without looking back there or peeking.
Well, the Stampeders scoring on their first possession of the second half. Start here on the BC 52. Not much there for Harrison.
Well, this BC defense is going to have to play better on first down. Just like that play there in the first half, Calgary was averaging just shy of 7 yards, almost 7 yards on first down. That puts you 2nd and 3 or less, and a bunch of those opportunities. So Washington's group be better on first down and chip away at this lead.
Andrew Hudson on that defensive line now. 2nd and 8. Quick hitter. McDaniel. Well, did he have it long enough? They're ruling a catch down, and it'll be close to a first down. He's going to be less than a yard short.
Having said that, this time the Lions send the house, including Adam Bighill and the machine. Wearing number 19 for Calgary. He just sees the blitz, delivers it underneath it. Gets a short yardage situation.
Mitchell with 300 yards in 3 of his 4 previous meetings against the Lions. So 3rd and short, and he'll plunge ahead. A flag comes down. That from referee Tim Croker in behind. The signal here from the Lions, yes, it is procedure.
Wow.
And a costly call against Calgary.
Andrew Hudson had gone in. He's in the rotation in that interior defensive line.
And so did Andrew Buckley, excuse me, who took the quarterback sneak.
Procedure. Calgary number 60. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Puts the punt team out.
And the penalty against Shane Bergman causes only the 2nd 2-and-out of the game for Dave Dickinson's group.
Yeah, keep in mind, Chris Rainey fumbled the opening kickoff of the second half. You know the competitor in Rainey wants to make amends.
Well, the Lions need a big play.
Can Neighbor keep it away from him? Put it in the corner or wide field.
Neighbor sends it that way, and This will go out of bounds probably around the 15 when they mark it. Well, they're going to mark it at the 13. So Maver gets the job done as he usually does. Get the behind-the-scenes look at battles like this. First place in the West on the line, and Wally Buono's BC Lions have a lot of work to do.
Big double tight set here.
Starting on their own 13 after the punt by Maver. And off to Johnson, bubbling back and ridden to the sidelines by Campbell. He'll lose yardage on the play. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Yeah, well played by the Calgary defense to just string that out. They brought in double tight ends. Try and make that defensive line widen and open holes. Jock Climby talked about at halftime. The defensive line, but good pursuit angles ended that play.
Second and 13, wide side, and Arsenault wasn't looking.
Wasn't even looking, not close.
First 2 and out of the night. But it comes at a bad time, and the kind of play that doesn't look very good.
Receiver quarterback talking all the way back to the bench. See John Jennings throwing it out to 84, and he's going, what? Oh. Almost like Manny Arsenault thought he was nothing but a decoy. I don't think you make 84 your decoy.
So do they punt away here? Or do they give up more points? Leone will blast this. Send Finch back to his 46. 55-yard punt, but a great return to the Lion 45-yard line. Lacombo on the stop, another flag, and it's going to go against Calgary. Holding call is the preliminary indication.
I'll take that good return by Finch off the board.
And maybe a little piece of evidence of why you don't always concede the safety, and I know you don't like it to be an automatic call.
Well, Richie Leone's got that powerful leg. You mentioned his last game, close to a CFL record, so he can power it out there.
While the ball is in the air, holding Calgary number 35. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So they lost about 40 yards the last time they punted, but look at the difference in yardage here. It's about 25 yards the other way. 29 to be exact.
Just on the top of your screen, right at the top there.
And this time Benson draws the penalty.
There you go.
So back at the 36. Fake to Messam. Come back the other way, and Markway's got another catch. 8th catch of the night, dragged down by Stephen Clark. 3 consecutive games with at least 8 grabs for McDaniel.
Sure, they're BC Lions fans saying, how are you stopping, if you're on defense, these flat routes? These routes that just push to the flat, get the receiver or running back angles to just pick up 7, 8, 9, sometimes 10 yards. You play zone, you put your corner on the line of scrimmage. It's called a cloud coverage with your halfback high and deep. And that corner comes up and hits that guy coming to the flat.
Messam on 2nd and 3. And he's going to get stopped short. Big Westerman takes him down again. And another 2 and out.
Let me show you that on the all-24 look here. This flat route here, if you bring your corner up and you play this halfback deep, that corner has the angle on this play. But they've got to figure out, the Lions, a way to do this to stop this flat route play, because it puts Bo Levi Mitchell in good position on 2nd down. Now they're going to have to kick it here. It didn't work this time, but they've been using that play to death.
Pressure, Maver throwing, and do they have the first down? They had to get to the 46. I don't think they got it.
Oh, late flag.
marked at the 45. There is a flag in the backfield. Well, in the second meeting between these teams, Richie Leone threw a pass on third down to Keenan Parker to extend the drive, and now a penalty against BC. And although the play came up short, they're going to get a first down out of it. And it's a big penalty. Lions have the fewest roughing penalties in the league so far this year, but here's one that's costly.
And I think everyone in the building, including you and I, would like to know exactly, and Wally Guano's wondering what he's going to challenge here. Was it a late hit on Maver?
Tim Croker talking to the eye in the sky to confirm whether or not this call should be made. We haven't got an announcement.
Before the announcement, he wants to challenge it.
He should wait and find out exactly.
Major foul roughing the passer, British Columbia. It's a 15-yard penalty and a first down.
Hunter is protected too. But you could see Wally Guano challenging for two reasons. One, so that Calgary couldn't run another play, and he couldn't challenge.
Cameron Onco, the former Stampeder.
Well, Onco jumped and was trying to get out of the way.
Does he make contact with the helmet?
That's his first challenge from this point on. He still needs a timeout.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure about that.
Well, Wally Guano wants to challenge it and at least have the replay official take another good hard look at it.
So does he catch the passer in this situation on the helmet?
Doesn't hit him with his hands. Almost like it, because he was in the air moving forward. You can see he leaves 3 yards ahead of him and then gets his hands out of there and sort of brushes him with the inside of his stomach on the head.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed by replay. We have roughing the passer, 91, British Columbia.
And I understand the upset crowd inside here only because precedent is if you get hit in the head as a passer in the pocket, it's a penalty. So that's why it wasn't overturned. But again, in the offseason, they got to get back to common sense.
Yeah, that defies the term roughing. But it's a big drive extender for Calgary.
It is, and you know, I'll say this as well. There's always the concern that you can't read intent. So you can't, you know, Otko you can't read his intent to the passer. But he was clearly trying to get out of the way, brushed him with the inside of his body, didn't hit him with his arms or hand or anything to the head. And it's got to stay football, and that's not the official's fault.
Second down, Rashawn Mitchell, ears in, incomplete. Wanted Lamar Durant. The Coquitlam product hasn't made a catch tonight.
Well, you heard earlier the discussion between Ryan Phillips and Bo Levi Mitchell. The inside receiver here, Lamar Durant, and he's going to get one-on-one with Ryan Phillips. And when he turns, now this time Phillips just reading his eyes, reading his face. As he looks up for the ball, Phillips puts it in gear, reacts, stays on that inside shoulder, makes it incredibly tough catch and one that Durant can't make.
Maver looking for the corner again. It'll be playable for Iannuzzi. 45-yard punt. 35-yard punt. And Iannuzzi brings it back across the 20.
Clearly kicking it away from Chris Rainey now, because Calgary, you know, it's risky to kick it to the wide field. When you're on a hash mark and you kick it to the wide field and you don't get quite over to the sideline, you leave a lot of room for the returners. kicking it away from Rainey right now.
Boy, the #1 defense in the league has done the job tonight. Lions have averaged 41 points in each of their last 4 games, but have been stymied here and nothing doing as Singleton brings down Arsenault.
Well, they're forcing Jonathan Jennings to be patient and take those type of plays, some curls and things like that, because especially on first down, they're dropping with 3 straight linebackers. Alex Singleton is in on first down for Joe Burnett, who's been on the field since being hurt, but not on first down. He's on here on second down.
2nd and 9. Pressure coming from Micah Johnson. And Jennings throws that away. Heat turned up, and the frustration level mounts here at BC Place.
And with Jennings himself. He looked like he had Brian Burnham at one point open, but clearly couldn't see him because of the pressure in front of him. And then when he's trying to buy time now, he's just throwing it away. There's no receivers over there. He's just throwing it away, but frustrated all the way to the bench.
Here's Leone. Drives Finch back to the 35, but another return. Roy Finch dancing down to the BC 48-yard line.
Kick it to the wide field. You're going to get in trouble.
He's become one of the most fun return men in the league to watch this season.
Look at all the space. When you kick it to the wide field, you're giving great returners tons of space to move and operate. When you kick it into the short side of the field, it allows your cover team to corral Finch, and he doesn't have as much room to get out of there. It's good because it gets the returner on the run, but if you don't quite get it to the sideline, you get in trouble.
I love you, Roman.
Number 3 in all-purpose yards coming into the game. Roy Finch. Mitchell again with a start on the Lions side of half, and Parker wide open. He'll get a first down and bump out at the 28 as we finish this 3rd quarter. Stampeders with a quick touchdown to start the 3rd quarter, and they're in charge heading to the 4th. 27-9 at BC Place Stadium. Well, if it will be another comeback in this season series tonight, it'll have to be a big one because Calgary is in charge through 3 quarters.
Yeah, you know, Bo Levi Mitchell and the offense have taken advantage of those turnovers. That turnover to start the second half, that one hit BC hard, but he's on his way to another 300-yard passing game. That would be his 14th of his career and 6 of his last 7. The guy is a machine.
We talked to him yesterday about a matchup against Jonathan Jennings, and he acknowledged that there are a lot of terrific young quarterbacks in the league, and you just sense that he wanted to make sure he was going to be at his best in a showdown with Jonathan Jennings tonight.
Well, he's distributing the football like a point guard in basketball. He just reads the defense, drops it out. Lions can't protect the outside right now.
Here's Torrey Harrison and his carry inside.
What I mean by that is they're leaving the outside throws the soft spots. So whether it's into the boundary and it's right around the sideline or even to the wide field, they're making Bo Levi Mitchell be patient and go out there every time for 4, 5, 6 yards. And Bo Levi Mitchell is patient. He'll take it every time if you keep giving it to him. At some point, they got to get those corners up.
2nd and 4, 6 receivers out. He gets flushed and now throws into the corner. Jump ball. Pop out. What a catch. Touchdown. You see the flag, and it's going to be offensive pass interference to take the touchdown off the board.
Mike Edom came from the middle. Scramble situation. Charbonneau Campbell's made some big catches this year, and he gives it the push right there on Brandon Stewart.
Offensive pass interference. Calgary number 87. 10-yard penalty, still second down.
And that was a subtle push. I mean, I'm reluctant to even call it a push. It was more like just finding where his defender was. Well, I guess that left shoulder or the right shoulder of Stewart does move a little bit into the inside. What a catch, though. And he's made a few this year. He had a big one last week.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
Only catch, but it was 64 yards to set up the clinching points. So he's got it here on the hinge. And he'll carry it down to first down territory.
Not protecting the perimeter. And Calgary's just working it. Just saying, if you're not going to have corners come up and challenge on the outside, then we're going to continue to throw it to the boundary and let our receivers and running backs just take it from there.
So Charbonneau Campo, the 8th different receiver. Everybody involved. And we got a timeout.
Timeout, Calgary.
Dave Dickinson walked all the way down almost to the 25-yard line and looked at the defense, didn't like what he saw, and almost had predetermined that if it isn't a certain look, this play is not going to work, and called the timeout.
Wheels turning at both sidelines. Mark Washington with a quick chat with Team 100. By the way, Solomon Elimimian has 10 tackles tonight.
And he's been in chase most of the night because the tackles are so far outside that he's had to run a long way to get there for those tackles.
First and 10, Mitchell, sidelines. There's Daniels with the catch. And another first down, 3rd catch for Daniels on the night. His father, Philip, a 15-year NFLer and defensive line coach with the Eagles.
On time and on the money from Mitchell.
First and goal from the 6. And Bo Levi Mitchell's a yard short of another 300-yard game. Rob Cote set up as a tight end. They go the opposite way, and that didn't fool anybody, but McDaniel got away. Sloppy tackling, and McDaniel takes it to the 1.
Well, I was about to say that the veteran has had enough of these push routes to the flat, and Ryan Phillips jumped it. And he jumped it. He left his man and just took it, but he missed the tackle. And give credit to Marquay McDaniel, because Ron Phillips is right there to stop this play and then cannot corral McDaniel to the ground.
Well, he lost grasp of him when Purifoy came in and actually friendly fire knocked Phillips off McDaniel, and we've got BC Lions shaken up on the play.
I wonder if it is Ryan Phillips that's down.
Oh, that's
no, it isn't.
Stephen Clark shaken up. So we'll step out and be right back to BC Place Stadium.
Well, looks like it's the knee for Stephen Clark, who's replacing TJ Lee. He was being blocked by Bakari Grant up at the top corner of your screen. I'll show you again as it continues here. Right there. And you see the left knee kind of buckles inside. Vanderbilt product playing very well last week. A fumble recovery and a sack. Was settling in nicely at that halfback spot.
That was 2nd and goal from about 1.5 yards out. And as Andrew Buckley trying to push his way in, touchdown. 3rd touchdown of the year for Andrew Buckley, who will turn 23 tomorrow and extends Calgary's lead with another successful quarterback sneak.
Yeah, and the Lions bench, the bullpen is starting to get a little bit of work. I see Lule warming up over there on the BC sideline. get some reps here and likely finish this game.
7-play drive, 48 yards. Buckley caps it.
Well, this is a good all-around football team, this Calgary Stampeder team. Mitchell is the machine offensively, just running it.
Yeah, they were looking for 60 minutes. They've got a terrific 50 minutes so far as we join Farhan Lalji.
Yeah, guys, it certainly looks as though Travis Lulay is getting stretched. He just had a conversation with Kahari Jones about what to do. He's passing the ball back and forth with Jonathan Jennings right now, so could be either one, but all signs right now point to Travis Lulay going back in. You know, and it's been some very efficient performances for John Jennings in the games coming into this, but he has really struggled tonight. Just 10 completions on the night. He's locked in on receivers, and he has not looked comfortable at all.
Devon Claybrooks can take some credit for that. Defensive coordinator who, remember, had to do some juggling when he lost Joe Burnett defensively and has to rotate him on only passing downs, and then played with Alex Singleton and changed up his play calling, made it very uncomfortable for the young Jonathan Jennings, who will have games like this. Young quarterbacks do.
Put the team on your back, man.
That's one thing I'm not sure Bo does know. Off nights.
That's a good point. There's 3 teams he hasn't lost to.
Boy, they've done a job on Rainey tonight as well.
It is incredible that there are 3 teams in the CFL. This is year 5 now. Bo Levi Mitchell started for the last few years, but he has not lost to Hamilton, Toronto, or Saskatchewan, and it looks like that's the end of the night for Jonathan Jennings.
So here's Travis Lulay, who came in to relieve Jennings against Toronto earlier this year and looked terrific. He was 12 for 15 in that game, and actually had some people wondering if he was going to get a chance to reclaim his job. The decision to stick with Jennings was the right one. Push pass incomplete, intended for Arsenault. But the veteran Lulay been pretty important in the development of Jonathan Jennings, hasn't he?
Absolutely. Working together in the meeting rooms, helping the young Jennings at 23 years old. But it still is now healthy for the first time in a couple years, Lulay.
3-man rush. Lulay steps away from Junior Turner. Breaks a tackle, but Jerron Mayo will push him out short of the first down, and 2 and out for Lulay on his first series of the night.
Well, now he's faced what Jonathan Jennings has been facing all night. Different looks by this defense. Pressure, even though they're not coming with full blitz. This was 3-man pressure, and he felt it. 2 of the 3 got there.
Third consecutive 2 and out for BC. Leone, another good boot. Finch at the 29. That's another 51-yarder for Leone, and Finch being tackled after a short return. So Bo over 300 and a comfortable lead here in Vancouver. Fourth quarter action continues after this.
Yeah, they are.
They are number 1 in the Canadian Football League right now.
You know, back in the old days, we used to do a hit chart, which when you're studying film, you, as a defense, where does the quarterback throw the football? Where is he throwing it? Where does he like to go with it?
6 of his last 7 games over 300, 4 or 5 against BC, and now the ground game, and let's see if Jerome Messam can chew up some clock.
This is where my hit chart would be for this game tonight for Bo Levi Mitchell. It'd be over here like this, and you'd see all that, and then you go and you take a look at the other side, and you see all these over here, using the sideline with corners off and working it till the BC corners respond, and they did.
Anthony Thompson in that secondary for BC in the absence of Stephen Clark. There's Mitchell in trouble. He's going to throw that away, and a flag comes down. As did Bo reach the first row? I don't think he did. Holding call against Calgary, and it will be declined so the Lions can get the ball back.
Holding, Calgary number 53. Penalties decline, 3rd down.
Brad Erdos, the right guard, who's played the last few games with the injuries at right tackle. Dave Dickinson mentioned yesterday they might have Dan Federkyle back next week at right tackle. That would move Spencer Wilson back to right guard, and Ucombre Williams also isn't far away, so the O-line might be getting healthier. Favor the boot, Iannuzzi the return. 48-yard kick, and Marco Iannuzzi. He had 20 and then hit a brick wall. Ball came loose, but they're ruling he was down.
That wall, his name is Jaguar Davis. And watch Iannuzzi cut inside, and you got to admire the courage, but that's a defensive lineman covering kicks.
6'1", 238. And hit Iannuzzi at almost full speed. Now the offense going on the field, are they challenging that ball was a fumble? And
Calgary is challenging the ruling on the play. They believe that there was a fumble before the runner was down by contact.
And Tim Croker used the right word. They do believe the offense has already gone on the field. They're confident it's their football. We'll find out when we return. This is an interesting challenge for a couple of reasons. Dave Dickinson's offense on the field thinks they've got the football. Jaguar Davis with the enormous hit. But
both offenses are on the field right now. Yeah, and there's a couple questions here. Whether or not the ball came out on Marco Iannuzzi, that's the first one. Looked like it did.
And whether or not Jaguar Davis with helmet-to-helmet contact.
It doesn't look like Dave's getting
After review, ruling on the field stands. The runner's down by contact. First down, BC.
See, I agree with Dave. That's the least correct of the rulings. That ball was either out or it was out on a helmet-to-helmet contact. That I don't know how you rule that ball wasn't out by contact, because
going through his legs. Well, the shoulder touched, and it was moving in his arms, but
they're apparently ruling he still had control, but that ball was slipping away before he went down.
And you saw it out behind him once he was down.
So Lule's second series. We had our debate.
Oh, it's a good
during the intermission, or during the break, was whether or not the helmet-to-helmet caused it. And
well, if there's a foul, in other words, a clothesline or a spearing penalty that causes the fumble, that can be discovered during replay. There was clearly a hit to the helmet of Iannuzzi, but they felt it was the face mask of Jaguar Davis, which happens every play. That clearly was the ruling, because there was no discovery there.
Lions needed a break, got one, but now have to do something with it. Second and long. Lule under siege again. And an incompletion down the sidelines. Charleston Hughes was turning it up on BC, and that's 4 consecutive 2-and-outs. The Lion offense has stalled.
The Calgary defense has dictated that stall. That defensive back end that I think collectively, and I haven't done a whole lot of games in the East, so I want to be careful here, but collectively that back end may be the best in the game. And there's just no windows for either Lule or Jennings to get it to.
Got a challenge here. Wally Buono needs his offense on the field and looking for an illegal contact.
BC is challenging the ruling on the field. They believe there was illegal contact on number 24. Number 29. Check that, number 29.
It's Jamar Wall.
And they're more specific now after last week in a review a couple of weeks ago in Edmonton.
In Edmonton there was a challenge against Montreal. It was a challenge for offensive pass interference, and the number wasn't given. It was actually illegal interference downfield by a receiver. Correct challenge and the correct call and the correct decision was made, but the communication was the issue.
In the back of.
So it looks like Wall's okay there. Tough to see perspective-wise if he's past 5 yards on that replay, but you saw when he tried to make that in cut, there was some contact. If it was past 10 yards, that may be what Wally Buono's looking for. Again, at some point now, and this is the new rule change this year, that coaches are having these desperation challenges where it's almost nothing we can really lose here. Go ahead and try. We got to try and keep our offense on the field.
Term is fishing, and he's looking for something here. Wally Buono 2 for 11 in challenges. Dave Dickinson.
Hope that ain't overturned.
0 for 7.
Well, he's looking for one of those big springs or 30, 40-pound coho
After
here.
review, the ruling on the field stands. There's no illegal contact. BC is charged with their last timeout.
That should mean the last challenge of the night. And it has been that kind of night here for the Lions.
Some nice fishing here on the West Coast, though. Outstanding.
Hope you have more luck than Wally just had. Finch doesn't want to go down.
Those tough on the field deserve a truck that's tough on the road. The 2016 GMC Sierra.
So those are fishing waters, are they?
Well, you got to get out a little further.
Okay, yeah.
Can't fish under the bridge, but keep going down that coast, and some of the best salmon fishing on the planet.
And that Chamber of Commerce note lets you know that it's a 25-point Calgary lead here in the fourth quarter. And here's Jerome Messam up to the 39.
But here's some respect that Dave Dickinson has for Wally Buono and the BC Lions as a team. 7 minutes left with this lead, and Bo Levi Mitchell is still in at quarterback. Probably last series.
I was going to say, is it the last series? Likely.
But it seems like an insurmountable lead. You go back to the 2 games against these 2 teams when they played each other this year. Wild things happened.
Second down, Mitchell time, throws, complete. And there is Davaris Daniels, the newcomer, with his biggest play of his CFL debut.
Yeah, you know, the Notre Dame product showed some things tonight. I mean, not a big night statistically, and that's going to help those stats, but I like his stride. I like his acceleration out of the break. When he goes to make his break, he's got a nice smooth stride up the middle. He caught that one over the middle, which is the danger area, and showed great courage. John Huffnagel's found another one.
Yep, he's always got another guy waiting, doesn't he? Oh, we've seen it with offensive linemen. We've seen it with a deep roster of receivers. Eric Rogers leads, the top receiver in the Canadian Football League, and this team doesn't miss a beat. Mess him again.
Well, it doesn't. And Bo Levi Mitchell talked to me yesterday about that win-loss record. He gives credit to his teammates and the leadership. And John Huffnagel, the best winning percentage of coaches with 100 games or more in the league. Look at those names with Bud Grant, Don Matthews, and Wally Buono on the opposite sideline. Now, Hugh Campbell had a better winning percentage, but he didn't make the list because you had to have coached 100 games.
That's the first time Hugh Campbell didn't make the cut.
Yeah, well, that's why I put him in there. I thought I can't leave him out.
Here's McDaniel again. Purifoy there to drag him down. And, you know, we do talk a lot about Bo Levi Mitchell's winning record, deservedly so, over 800 winning percentage. But you go back pre-Mitchell, in the 4 or 5 years before that, this Calgary team's winning percentage was over 700. So the beat just goes on.
Yeah, no question. And that's what Mitchell said to me yesterday, Chris, was, this is a good organization, well run. I mean, this is an organization, you mentioned their O-line. John Hofnagel will draft 3, sometimes 4 offensive linemen every single year. He knows that it's tough up there, and you're going to go through changes, and yet this line, with all the changes they had this year already, were first in the league in sacks allowed.
Saw that last year as well. Paredes from 36 yards out. And he puts another through. And it's 37-9, and a flag at the end of the play, and the tempers start to boil over. On a hot night on the West Coast. This game's going to give Calgary the season series, although Dave Dickinson played that down earlier this year. That tie in Ottawa kind of is a tiebreaker in its own. So not likely that these two teams would finish in a tie unless one of them registers another tie.
Yeah.
I wonder with this long a conversation if there's just the options being given to Coach Buono.
After the play, major foul, unnecessary roughness. Calgary number 53. 15 yards will be applied on the kickoff.
So the penalty against Brad Erdos. Right guard out of Simon Fraser.
That's where there's, in a game where there's a lopsided score and the tempers start to flare up a little bit, when you're kicking a field goal and those guys kind of got to hunker down and just take the hit from the defense rushing, there's your opportunity for those kind of things to start.
TSN Fantasy Football back registered now at tsn.ca/CFL Fantasy. Your chance to win a weekly Moores gift card to the grand prize, a Joseph Abood wardrobe and trip for 2 to the Grey Cup.
Well, I'm sure he didn't want to register his special teams tackle out of the gate in a loss, but Jason Araki was the story coming in. He did get the record.
Stamps lost the first game of the year here. Rainey up across the 45-yard line. They have not lost since. A tie in week 2 and wins on the board ever since.
Ouellet for a couple series now has seen exactly what Jonathan Jennings saw. Tight coverage and pressure.
Full 60-minute game by the Stampeders.
Yeah, it has been.
3-phase win. Ouellet under pressure, and he took a big hit. Junior Turner gets home, and that'll be his first sack of the year.
Working on Cody Husband, the center. He just wheels around him and collapses the pocket.
Losses 7, courtesy of number 7.
Boom, just number 7 in that 3-point stance.
Fan on the field at the far end, so that's why they halt play before it gets underway.
didn't really live up to the billing. Calgary Stampeders putting together the three-phase, top to bottom beat down here. This is a good young BC Lions team. They're going to bounce back. The Lions will go on a bit of an eastern swing after this. We got Ottawa, Toronto, and Montreal.
Stampeders home against the Ticats next week. And then back-to-back against Edmonton.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Ready to go on 2nd and long, and the draw play. Jeremiah Johnson will step out at the line bench well short of the first down.
That's another thing that happened to BC here tonight is Jeremiah Johnson or Anthony Allen, depending on who the starting tailback was for the Lions, has been involved throughout the game start to finish. In the last 4 games, they always got out to a lead so they could keep that running game involved. But his opening drive going 4 for 4, and the Lions got behind that early. That running game started to disappear.
Boy, they have been absolutely shut down in this second half. 7 yards as the Stampeder defense is tight in the ice. Pinch from his 11, he'll step out. And we get the 3-minute warning here. All Calgary tonight. Best in the West. Lion highlight of the night came on the very first play, the opening kickoff. And a record setter for Jason Araki.
A subplot to this show, and Jason Araki gets 185. That's how many special teams tackles he's made. There's his dad, Nick Araki, and his family in the crowd as well. Marianne and Logan up there, and his brother, and they saw him make a little CFL history, but kind of downhill from there for the BC Lions. The Calgary Stampeders, a very good effort top to bottom.
Drew Tate comes on. The Maytag repairman. Don't see much of Drew Tate. But he's in to mop up after a tremendous night for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Well, it was really quite remarkable, and you almost starts to get routine when you're talking about his performance, Mitchell's.
Those are last season's numbers for Drew Tate. Hasn't thrown a pass yet this season. Crashing down, and the right side of that offensive line moved ahead of the snap. It appeared.
Another 300-yard game.
Calgary number 23, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's 14 in 42 starts for Mitchell.
William Longley, who lined up as a tight end, was first to move, and they'll march it back 5.
Led the CFL in touchdown throws coming in tonight with 12. Had a couple more tonight, so he's at 14. He's second in the CFL in throws over 30 yards. I think he was describing one right there with teammates on the bench.
Stay on the ground for Messam. And the clock will continue to run. It'll be 2nd and 13.
One of the,
or 14.
One of the top performance, I think Dunnigan talked about it at halftime with the panel, has been the play of Anthony Parker, who's taken another step in his progression. This is year 6 for him, and
Messam again.
Has been very good, but hasn't really had the numbers. I mean, last year shy of 500 and not targeted nearly as much as the feature receivers, but a big night tonight, and it got started with his catch in the opening play of the game offensively for Calgary.
It was one of the guys that had a drop or two last week. They weren't sharp offensively in Saskatchewan, but they've been terrific tonight. Dave Dickinson's words prophetic. As good as the record was coming into this game, he continually said, I think we can play much better, and they've done that tonight.
Mission accomplished there.
Maver launches. It'll be raining. 51-yard punt, and the cover team's got the job done for Mark Killam tonight. The Nissan Titan Player of the Game is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, the official vehicle of the Canadian Football League.
Eastern Western product, getting it done out of the gate. First play of the game for him, down the sideline to Anthony Parker. Used all his weapons, distributed the football. Bakari Grant, Markway McDaniel got the backs involved. Just had the BC Lions reeling, and they didn't find an answer. Couldn't.
Got everybody involved. 8 different receivers. Had his season low here in week 1, 233 yards passing, but over 300 once again. 6th time he's done that this year.
Again, it's very early. We still got the Labor Day back-to-backs to go and the matchups there. But the one thing the Calgary Stampeders know is they have the hammer when it comes to the BC Lions down the stretch for home field advantage. They will have the tiebreaker.
Lions just looking for a first down at this point. Over the middle, Rainey or Jeremiah Johnson with the catch, but he's going to be about a yard short.
So we've given the Stamps the win. It's 6-1-1. Take a lead in the West Division.
They do give Jeremiah Johnson enough for a first down, and that's just the 3rd first down of the second half for BC. Blue leg crosser, Sean Gore. And Brandon Smith will wrestle him down. 6-yard pickup for Gore. Quiet night for 85 in what's been a terrific season. Just his 3rd catch. 40th on the year for Sean Gore.
When your quarterback's numbers aren't there, receivers are going to feel it too.
2nd down. Lule under pressure and throws it away. Pressure from Jagera Davis.
This BC team, though, is an exciting football team, and they'll regroup from this. They know the challenge they had tonight with the #1 team in the division coming in by 1 point, now 3-point lead.
One thing Wally Buono's liked about his team this year is they've won a lot of the physical battles. They've been the more aggressive team, but he knows he can't say that tonight.
No, but he also told me yesterday, Chris, that he likes how the team responds to adversity. He has all season.
Third down, Lule staying on the field. Johnson with the catch, but he's not going to get to the first down stick. And it will be another turnover. And the Calgary offense will come out to put a knee down to finish this one off.
Buono was asked yesterday, when did you know that you had a pretty good team, an exciting team? And he said, well, you know, I would have answered that question three different ways depending on when you asked. If you asked going into camp, I would have said, I'm not sure what kind of team we have. Coming out of camp, he said, I think we have the potential for a very good team. Now we have to go through some tests. They did that, split with Calgary. Liked what he saw there, but he said, you know what I like most about them is they respond from adversity and they continue to improve. And if they do that, the BC Lions will be just fine.
Closing time here. Drew Tate puts a knee down. And this game is done. Battle for best in the West, and the Stamps, at least at this point in the season, leave little doubt. They win the season series. They extend the unbeaten streak to 7. They move to 6-1-1. And now BC falls to 5-3. Domination from Bo Levi Mitchell. And the Stamps attack tonight on enemy turf. The final score 37-9. Calgary with the win. So long from Vancouver. SportsCenter is now.